I will introduce myself briefly. I'm Professor Dr. Dali Osepashvili from IPSU International Blacks University of Georgia, and my presentation is title of my presentation is Employers' Expectation Towards Digital Storytelling Program Graduates, case of Georgia, Republic of Georgia. The rapid transition to digital format poses some challenges for media educators because they have to keep with the demand of the employers and labor markets. And today, in the era of digital media, convergence newsroom are popular, of course, in Georgia too. Convergence is a buzzword, the modern world, is a process when boundaries are broken between different types of media. In the wake of the development of internet media, multimedia journalism is becoming more popular, which combine text and video or audio production. So, of course, it's unimaginable to teach the media and communication without digital communication and web technologies. But it's interesting how well higher education meets the modern requirement of modern labor market. What knowledge and skills should graduate of master program of journalism and mass communication have in the era of the digital media and visual storytelling to be able to find employment freely? What are the labor market requirements? This is the purpose of my presentation to show the result of this study conducted with the Georgian media employers in order to explore their attitudes towards digital journalism and mass communication programs graduate. The main hypothesis of my research was there is a gap between Georgian journalism schools curricula and the media industry. As for main question of research, what knowledge and skills, what competencies is required by the media industry in the era of digital media and visual storytelling? As for literature review shortly, there are various studies which conducted in different countries which present expectation of employers about what practical skills should graduate have a Master of Journalism program. But such studies we have started still in previous century, but it should be noted that studies in this direction were conducted especially in the USA in 20th century. And most studies have expressed concern that the media industry and academia are separated from each other and there is a gap between them. However, there are numerous scholarly papers that indicate the need to revise curricula in the wake to modern changing media industry. Most of these studies are focused on the changing media industry and the changes that J schools curricula needed to make in the era of media convergence. It's very interesting studies which conducted Messi. He analyzed the US journalist program and as pointed out, while demand for traditional journalism skills was still high, there was some increase in demand for newspaper reporters are skillful in reporting across multiple platforms, particularly shooting video. It's a very interesting study from University of Georgia, Professor Bridget. This qualitative research refers to revitalization of exacting curricula in 3 US journalism and mass communication programs. transition into digital media. Um, it's very interesting to Huang and his colleague research from Indiana University. They conducted a national survey among US journalists, educators, as well as professional journalists, news professionals, and editors. Uh, this study, which I present to you now, examines the view of labor market representatives in relation to MI program, digital media, storytelling, and communication. It can be said it's first of its kind research in Georgia. And exactly this present novelty and currency of this study. And this applied research will be a basis a new master program in digital media and visual storytelling created by my initiative at International Black Sea University, Georgia. The graduate program, Digital Media and Communication, is developed through the Georgian Media Educational Program, which is supported by the US Embassy in Georgia. And the module Digital Media is developed based on the Enologist program of the Loyola University, Chicago, Illinois. Director of this program, Professor Rachel Rogers, was actively involved in the development process of my new program. Now, as for method of this research, as I already mentioned, goal of this research was employers determine employers' expectations, and to reach the goal and explore the issue, a social constructivist framework is used for this research. It's based on the qualitative approach. A semi-structured interview method is used for this study. It was purposive sample. The interviews were conducted with editors, producers, and journalists who have at least 5 years experience of working in the media industry and especially in online journalism. The question respondents are from various media organization, Georgian media organization, and this study was carried out from 1st September 2019 to January 2020. Now, as for results and main findings of this research, the first tendency which was revealed after this research was a gap between media industry and academia. As this study revealed, because of rapid changing of traditional media and moving in the digital platform, representative of the media industry face some challenges related to MMG reporting. Interviewers reported that the Georgian media labor market is oversaturated with journalists and new vacancies are announced very rarely. Nevertheless, there is a lack of specialized with practical skills in the digital media and multimedia journalism, and confirming the hypothesis of a gap. As most respondents mentioned, the media school, Georgian media schools, journalism mostly taught as a theoretical level, and a big part of higher journalism studied this field in real practice in their newsroom. As most respondents mentioned, in the media schools, there is a big gap between journalist practice and J schools. There are like two separate sites. This is a praise one of the TV producers interviewers. As for the second tendencies which revolved by this study, scarcity of digital media specialized. Despite of this fact, there is a lack of practical specialized. All the respondents agreed that there is a scarcity of digital media specialized, and you can see now the phrase from one news editor in Georgian public broadcaster. In the modern market, there is a really shortage of staff which is needed for multimedia newsroom. Graduates in media organization are practically unprepared to work in newsrooms, and the employers have to train, teach, prepare staff to work independently without to help of others. Um, as one of respondents mentioned, however, knowledge of the digital media is extremely necessary for 21st century journalists, media researchers, and media managers. As research shows, in order to meet the demand of the modern media industry, journalist schools need to revise their curriculum in line with media transformation tendencies to develop and implements new master's program. It has been revealed by this research of this study, there is a demand for digital media and communication specialized from Georgian employers. As for the goal of MI program, it was determined to after this study. To our question of what should be purpose of the master's program in master's degree in journalism and mass communication, the answers were divided. Only a few respondents saying that the goal of MI program is teaching journalism and mass communication studies. But most of the question journalists, editors, producers mentioned and agreed that the main goal of teaching should be more focused on practice, more practice orientated. The goal of this program is to prepare the first goal, highly qualified, competitive, specialized, and compliance with the changing digital environment, who have deep and systematic theoretical and practical knowledge about digital media and communication. The second goal, graduate who have practical skills required of multimedia journalists and visual storytellings. And the third goal, graduates who will continue lifelong learning based on the need of a rapidly changing digital media industry. Gain current knowledge, refine and acquire the skills in the new technologies. As for learning outcomes, and anyway, what are the expectations of employers? What competencies, what knowledge and skills should digital media and the communication graduate have? According to the survey, their expectations have been determined. On the one hand, they should have deep and systemic knowledge about current trends in the digital media and the method of digital storytelling, practical skills for multimedia journalists. On the other hand, they should be equipped with deep and systematic knowledge about leading theories of the mass communication, innovative and forms and methods of research, as well audience engagement. And as a result of this study, competencies for digital media and communication specialized have been determined. A graduate should possess the following field and general transfer skills. Graduate will have acquired following knowledge and understanding. First, demonstrate deep and systematic knowledge of media and communication about forms, theories, concepts, and method of the media trends in the digital media development, digital media and law, and digital media ethics. The second has a deep and systematic knowledge about digital media and visual storytelling method and forms. Understand the specific of the work of digital media platform, innovative ways of social media analytics and forms of distribution to digital media audience. Critically analyzes and investigates new ways of solving current complex problems, including the latest advances in digital media and communication, and creates groundwork for developing new and original ideas, knows to implement innovations by applying the gained knowledge. As for skills, practical skills, graduate will be able to search for information and create content, apply visual tools and technologies, text, photos, audio, video, and web required for digital storytelling, produce multimedia products for different platforms and distribute to the target audience, process and analyze data, present them through visualization. And critically analyze difficult, incomplete information, synthesize innovation, and evaluate, use appropriate methodology for research, conduct social media analysis and monitoring, make conclusions. Communicate effectively with colleagues and audience across a variety of media platforms. And as for responsibility and autonomy, graduate has knowledge of ethical norm, understand what it means abide by ethical standard with pursuing a professional career to demonstrate academic fairness. Has a professional responsibility to conduct his or her research studies lifelong, independently of the need of the digital media industry. Um, Now, if I summarize briefly, interviews identified the following skills students should possess by graduation: a deep knowledge of current trends and theories in digital media and mass communication, innovation methods of research, inability to engage key audience, and the mastery of equipments techniques used in multimedia journalists. Thus, this purpose of program is to provide the modern digital media industry with highly qualified, competitive, specialized with the latest knowledge and relevant skills which are necessary rapidly changing in digital media environment. And IPSO International Black Sea University used the result of this applied research for the development of new master program of digital storytelling and communication that is according to modeled Loyola University Chicago program. So thank you so much for your attention. If you have question or comments.